Okay, let's talk. Let's talk Gary Chapman's The Five Love Languages. It's a really, obviously, a New York Times bestseller. Very popular book. And I've read it a little while ago, but the idea had just sparked a thought about these five love languages. Now, whatever your love language is, I want you to really identify with whatever your love language is. And then I want you to think about whether it's, I think it's like, you know, spending time together, touch. I guess I should have known all of. Oh, here it is. Words of affirmations, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Now think about your love language. Is it words of affirmations? That's generally a lot of people's love language. Spending quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, physical touch. I challenge you, as I continue to challenge myself, that at some point that we all, love to get these all five, right? But there's always one a little more stronger than the other, and that's what we consider our love language. There's nothing wrong with having a love language. For example, words of affirmation. Words of affirmation. You look good today. I'm proud of you. Oh, I see, you are doing a good job. Words of affirmation feels good. It shows validation. It shows that we are worthy, that we are being seen, that we are being heard. There's nothing wrong with that. We all want to be seen and heard. Here's my challenge. What happens when you don't get those words of affirmations? That's something that you want to be mindful of. What happens when you don't get those things? How do you show up then? Do you react? Most people do. They don't feel seen, they don't feel heard. It triggers something inside of them that causes a reaction. And you and I both know those reactions can turn into disconnections. You make me feel like you don't love me. You make me feel. So we begin to hold people accountable for them not showing us our love language. This is something I really want you to think about, because although the book hits some key points, but if you're looking to be a better version of yourself, it's imperative that we understand this current version. Why is words of affirmation your love language? What happens when you don't get that? And how can you show up in a way where you're still connected and you're not depending on someone else's words of affirmation? If you feel like this is your love language, it's actually saying, this is what I need to feel loved. Where did you learn that from? Like, seriously, where did you learn that from? I get it. This culture, it's not our fault. It's the culture. It's the culture we live in. It doesn't cultivate self-love. You don't learn self-love in school. Oftentimes we don't learn it at home because our parents never learned it. So who taught you self-love? And when you're not in a space of love, by default you move to a space of fear. Fear of not feeling heard. Fear of not feeling seen. Fear of not feeling loved. So those love languages are saying a little bit more than what you think it is. Let's pull the mattress back. There's other things that's going on behind those love languages. How are you showing up when you don't get the love language? Are you able to articulate your emotions in a healthy way? That's what I call emotional maturity, which so many of us lack. It's not our fault. No one ever taught you how to articulate your emotions. In fact, most of us have been taught to depress our emotions. So when something is suppressed or depressed for so long, it lacks the ability to express because you were never taught that. So it's just important for us to really do our work. If we want to become a better version, that work looks like becoming a student of this current version. We all have insecurities. You ever ask yourself, why? Like, why do we all have insecurities? Why do you have insecurities? Insecurities are rooted in fear. Isn't it amazing how we all can say we have insecurities? Isn't that amazing? Why is that? Then more importantly, to understand your insecurity and why does it allow you to disconnect. That's what fear does. Fear blames, fear judges, fear criticizes, fear labels, shames. Fear wants to control everything, situations, outcomes, and people. That's a default, or these are byproducts of being in this space of fear. How did you get there? Because we normalize these byproducts. We normalize judging other people. We normalize blaming other people. And when they don't show up how we want them to show up, we shame them. How do we get there? More importantly, how do we get out of that space of fear to a space of love? Once again, no one ever taught you that self-love in school. No one ever taught you self-love at home. Chances are you're not very loving to yourself. It's not our fault, but it's your responsibility once you become aware of this. Because when you think about your loved ones, your friends, your family, even your pets, you sacrifice your time, your energy, and your money to take care of your loved ones, right? You ever thought or had this idea of putting yourself on that list of loved ones? Because most people do not put themselves on their own list of loved ones. Why is that? Because if you're not on your list of loved ones, then by default, you don't think to take care of yourself. So it's not that you don't love yourself, but let's face it, you're not very loving to yourself. You make sure everyone else is good because you've been taught to take care of everyone else but yourself. This is the result of being in fear. This is why we have insecurities, because we are in a space of fear. Now, how do you get out of fear? We talked enough about being in this space. You want to know how to get out of the space, right? Right? It's very simple, but not easy. Very simple to become a student. What do you mean, coach? I'll tell you. Becoming a student, because knowledge is power. Power is love. See, I said it was simple, but I never said it was easy. It's not easy being a student, especially when you're triggered, especially when you're not getting the external validation, especially when you're not getting the love language. It's hard to be a student then, because oftentimes those emotions overpower our ability to think. And that gives me an opportunity to plug my hat. Mind over emotion, but oftentimes those emotions overpower our ability to think, to be logical. That's the part that's not easy. Simple formula. Knowledge is power. We all know that. Power is love. We know there's great power in love. But we forget to become a student. And here's the kicker. We love to learn. We love to learn. Think about a baby. When they first learn how to walk, you were that same baby. You just had your arms out and they have the biggest smiles. They're so happy. They're learning how to walk. They're connecting, they're walking, and they're able to connect the whole room or anyone that's in the room, because everyone is lit up with smiles. There's power, there's love. We love to learn. We learn how to talk. We learned our ABCs and our 1, 2, 3s. We couldn't wait to show off to our parents. You learn how to work this phone. You learn new skills in your job. You learn new hobbies, and it just feels good to learn. But we forget to learn when those emotions are triggered. They say experience is the best teacher. Would you agree? No, really, you agree that experience is the best teacher. So is it safe to say that every experience gives you an opportunity to learn? Yeah, right. Even when you're triggered, because that's an experience. You are experiencing a triggered moment right now. Someone is not giving you one of your love languages. They're not giving you the words of affirmation. That's triggering. That's triggering to you. But it's an experience. So is it safe to say that even that experience is an opportunity to learn, becoming a student of those triggers, becoming a student of those insecurities? Why does that affect me? Why does someone else's behavior affect me? They're not showing up to give me the validation to make me feel love. I don't feel love. Why is that? And how can I, more importantly, how can I articulate this emotion in a healthy way where I'm still connected? How can I respond instead of react? See, it's not about not having triggers. It's about how you show up when you are triggered, when you're not getting the affirmations, when you're not getting the words of acts of service, the touch. How do you show up? That's the important part right there. Because if you're not in the space of learning, even when you're triggered, because it's an experience, and we just uncovered that experience is the best teacher, which you already knew that. But now, moving from that space of learning or becoming a victim of it. See, victims live in fear. Students live in love. So are you going to be a victim or a student? Either way, there's no blame on you. There's nothing wrong with showing up either way. It's not about what's right or wrong. You just have a different experience when you look to show up in the victim space. Then comes the blame, the judging, the reactions, the disconnections. Or you can show up as a student. Knowledge is power, power is love. Now you're looking to learn. You're in a space of love. So either way, it's your choice. It's your choice. But listen, I want to help you out because I appreciate you listening to me all the way through. In these videos I post on YouTube at least once a week. But listen, I'm putting together a group of people, and I think you should be a part of it. We're developing what I call a checkmate mindset. If you're tired of having these disconnections with loved ones, friends, co-workers, neighbors, more importantly, the relationship with yourself, disconnecting with yourself, when you are allowing those emotions to overpower your ability to think, and now you are having these disconnections with loved ones, but it actually begins to affect you. That stress is on your body. You're not able to eat sometimes, sleep, because you're so emotionally triggered by what someone else has did. And the truth of the matter is, what someone else is doing, their behavior, has absolutely nothing to do with you. So it's a matter of developing a checkmate mindset. But listen, I talked long enough. Now it's your turn. I want to hear about what you have going on. How can we get you from where you're at in the space of fear to a space of love? How can we help you develop a checkmate mindset, being intentional, moving with a strategy? Hit the link in the bio. It's a free guide. But from there, you'll get opportunity to join what I call my virtual safe space, where a small group of people get together and we work on those triggers. We work on those insecurities, moving from a space of fear to a space of love. So do yourself a favor. In fact, do yourself two favors, because we've been rocking with each other for about 16 minutes and some change. So we good now. The first favor, I want you to get the free guide that's in the bio, right? Just hit the link, download it. It's a video guide. I walk you through 5 moves to call checkmate and break cycles of dysfunctional thinking. From there, there'll be an opportunity for you to join our virtual safe space, where we work the physical muscles as well as the emotional muscles, because they work hand in hand. We're talking movement, mindset, getting the body moving to help open up the mind to start working on some of those emotional muscles. This isn't therapy. Not that I have anything against therapy, but we're going to take a whole different approach. You ready? You sure? All right. Hey, that second favor, I want you to treat yourself to a smile today. That turns the light on so you're able to connect. Yo, I see you on the next video or in my next coaching session. Private Coach Martize, your favorite fitness and relationship coach. I'm out.